Good afternoon from Ohio. It's very hot. Uh, got the air conditioning at full blast. The last couple of days have been very hot. Some places in my hometown have lost power. Excuse me, unfortunately. But I still have power. Maybe, I don't know how long that's going to last, but hopefully I won't lose power. Uh, as some of you know, I'm a sports memorabilia collector. I love collecting everything with sports memorabilia, cards, magazines, uniforms, starting lineups, Fungo dolls, Sports Illustrated, all sorts of magazines. And it's really cool. It's something that I've loved doing as a kid. And I actually at one time had a great sports collection. Growing up 6, 7, 8, 9 years old in the 70s and 80s. It's amazing. I had a lot of great rookie cards at one time in my life, including Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. I had the second year Walter Payton, had Tony Dorsett's rookie. I mean, the list goes on. Joe Montana's rookie card, Dan Marino, John Elway. I had all these cards at one time, and then later on in life, I had a friend whose uncle died, and he gave me a bunch of old sports magazines over the years. I collected. Well, many years ago, I traded them all in to go on a trip to Florida, and it paid for my trip, 10 days in Florida, but I kind of regretted it. And now I had to rebuild everything over again over a period of years. Of course, when I got married, I didn't have a lot of time. Then we got the kids, and I wish I had particularly Anthony right now, because I would have loved to have him be a sports memorabilia collector, cards, and all that. But it gives me a lot of joy. It brings me back a lot of memories. I don't necessarily collect sports memorabilia to make a profit, but I enjoy it because I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where some of the greatest athletes have been in time, and I grew up with. And I started collecting the last couple of years. I collected actually even during the time I was married, but it's all sorts of things. So, like with my magazines, I gone to a lot of rummage sales and flea markets, and some of them were naturally my own subscriptions to some of the magazines. But I'm proud of some of my sports memorabilia. I like my Fran Tarkenton's from the mid-70s, Sports Illustrateds. I got them in sleeves, or that would fit the magazines. This is what I really enjoy, is my Walter Payton. Sports Illustrated, one of the, if not the first Sports Illustrated he was on. It had to be one of the first. And then Joe Montana, and I have a variety of them over the years. Old sports magazines like Nolan Ryan from the 80s, and like I said, even from my home state of Minnesota, collecting Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. I went to a lot of Timberwolves games over the years, and then my Twins with Kirby Puckett, the 40th anniversary edition, and my Vikings, the same thing, and then old sports magazines. And this is the one I'm really like, is in the early 90s, the Dream Team from the U.S. Olympic team, and then my Sports Illustrated, Brett Favre, Michael Jordan, and Sporting News, and then Peyton Manning, and then the older ones with Elway when he won the Super Bowl, Emmett and Troy Aikman, when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl and ended their undefeated season, and then the first year or two LeBron came in the league, some of the magazines that came out, but also sports cards and starting lineups. You know, I love collecting both, and rookie cards, particularly hockey cards. It was a big hockey card and basketball and football card collection. I enjoy all of them. Especially, I picked up some of these old, like the Gordie Howe and Bobby Clark and Phil Esposito, and then with Bobby Orr, And then my Fungo dolls, I've lined up a collection. I like collecting bobbleheads. I got my Walter Payton and Barry Sanders up there, and then of course I got Alexander Ovechkin and Gretzky. I like collecting old memories of some of these guys, and then my classic doubles with starting lineup with Bird and McHale, and then pick up small items like this 91 Pittsburgh Penguins anniversary memorabilia set after they won the Stanley Cup with Mario and Yager. And then my rookie cards, I got rookie cards of Ed Belfour, Brodeur, Dominic Hasek, Score and Upper Deck, old football cards I started collecting again of Terry Bradshaw and Staubach. And of course I got my bobbleheads of Tommy and not Sammy Sosa, but Alex Rodriguez. Yeah, I do have Sammy Sosa, actually. Anyway, all my bobbleheads and my starting lineups. Kind of cool from the mid-'80s. Elway, Favre, Aikman. My legends, Walter Payton, and then Terry Bradshaw. Over here, I just picked up this Gretzky Legends. And then, of course, Bure, Hasek. I got the Hall, father and son, which is cool. And then Mario, Wayne in a Rangers jersey. And then Patrick Waugh in an Avalanche. And a first-year edition in a Canadiens uniform. That's really cool. And then my Michael Jordan cards. There's my Garnett bobblehead. And there's my Sosa bobblehead. And the Jordan. And I just picked this up. This $45. His 2009-10 Upper Deck Legacy collection. I just picked it up from a flea market, mint condition. And then, of course, all my other Jordan cards. And I collect Jordan and just like his Sports Illustrateds too. I have a variety of old Sports Illustrateds that I collect. So, and then there's a variety of magazines that I collect as well as Jordan. I collect World Series programs from the Indians and the Cubs Super Bowl program, from the Broncos and Seahawks. 2009 All-Star Game program, pretty close to mint, the last All-Star Game in New York at Yankee Stadium. And all sorts of other magazines, Sports Illustrated. For hockey, I collect sets as well. I have a French Upper Deck, a couple of boxes, complete sets with Forsberg, Solani, Hasek. And French sets are harder to get than American sets, but I collected a lot of hockey in the mid-'90s. And, of course, like I said, Solani, Lidstrom, Forsberg, Madonna, Lindros, Score rookie, his second year, Richter, Potvin. So I just love collecting cards. And then, of course, my pride is that 69 Gordie Howe. It's near mint condition. Of course, the scoring leaders from 70-71 with Busick, Esposito, and Orr. That's cool. So I enjoy. And then what I like is these mid-70 football cards with the Steelers and the Bears. And then my friend Tarkenton and all my older cards, which is really cool. So I just wanted to show off and talk about my sports card and sports memorabilia collection because it's really cool. And then, of course, my Jordans and Michael Magic Johnsons, Larry Bird. I love that. Bo Jackson starting lineup I picked up, of course, with Johnny Bench. So I just wanted to show off a little bit of my sports memorabilia collection. So if there's any sports collectors out there and would like to talk or trade possible, look me up. Have an awesome day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.